Sumi Gaeshi is a very useful technique from a standing position when our partner ties up with us. Why? Well, one of the reasons is because it's a sacrifice throw and it involves us controlling our partner and then using our body weight. It doesn't require the same amount of effort and force that some of the other attacks from a standing position do. The other thing is, because it's a yoko sutemi waza in judo, it's classified as a throw that's like a sacrifice throw. And in many cases, these sorts of throws in judo are considered kind of bailout moves, whereas you're going to work for a technique and you can't get exactly what you want, you head into these techniques. It leaves us in a place where we're down on the ground and we can start to work in case something goes wrong, right? So even if we fail with Sumi Gaeshi or Tomoe Nagi, okay, or variations of those, we are still in usually pretty good guard positions so we can keep working. Today we're going to use a version of the Sumi Gaeshi called yoko Sumi Gaeshi, which is off to the side. And it takes place anytime our partner takes a collar tie with us and we feel like we can't get rid of it. And this is a very common thing. Among the upper body ties, your partner can take the collar tie is one of the more common. Okay, you get bicep ties and wrist ties and elbow ties, but you'll see people take the collar tie, and then from here, this is where we're going to work. So we're going to match up, and he takes a strong collar tie here. So in an ideal world, I would want to strip this grip off totally and then go into working the Russian, clearing his arm, and then going in on the legs. But occasionally, people are very committed to their attacks here, and they anchor themselves. You feel like you can't clear this arm. The longer you stay here, the greater this distance is. He's got a strong frame pushing in. I feel like I can't go to his legs. I can't really grip. And then he's got good control. If he wanted to snap my head down, for instance, he could do that. If he wanted to clear my head out of the way and then start entering in the legs. So I feel like it's a pretty vulnerable position. So we're going to anchor ourselves here to this grip by taking an inside control grip with our hand by our partner's elbow, drawing our partner's arm across, bringing our shoulder forward, and then taking our arm across over to our partner's lat, okay? So 1, 2, 3. Now we're glued to our partner, okay? If he wants to take this arm out, it's going to be very difficult. So from here, we're going to move around towards our partner's far leg. You don't want to be square with them, but you want to have a slight angle where your outside foot is closer, pointing towards your partner's other leg, okay? If you go all the way across, great, but even just inside is good. Now we're going to glue him here, make your body strong here, right? So he's kind of anchoring his weight back. He's sitting down, almost kind of like in a squat position. I'm going to pass my left foot through to the inside position to his hamstring. At the same time, we're going to take a short jump with our other foot that's going to bring our center of gravity under our partner so that we can elevate and take our partner through. Now we land and we've got this good control position. We don't want to let it go. So we're going to push our chest forward and take a big step with our outside leg over the top so that our heel can make a contact with our partner's hip. His elbow moves across the center line as we bring our chest to the floor. Now we slide our left knee up, gather our partner's far arm, and move our body into a position where we have our heel tucked underneath the armpit. You're going to gather your partner's wrist, cover their far hip, step over, and then right from here, we have a nice mounted juji gatame off of our Sumi Gaeshi. So we tie up, we get our grips, we step out towards the foot that we want, we step in at the same time. Notice how he's not collapsing onto me, he's kind of keeping his weight back in a squat. We're going to insert the left foot, that's this one, and then the right foot's going to go through so that we can carry our body weight under and land him in this good position. Now we'll slide in, a big step over, and up into the mount. We gather, turn, step, and finish. Okay, one more time. We'll go from here. So 1, 2, we step across, we stick our foot through, bent leg so it doesn't go straight, and then we slide our body underneath in order to be able to take them over, kind of like a quasi-forward roll. We step, climb, take advantage of the elbow position being across the center line, back heel, and we're ready to go for the juji. So when you're practicing this technique in terms of safety reminders for the person that's on the receiving end, you want to sink your weight back and you want to kind of hold on to your partner's weight a little bit. So there's a moment where as I jump in, he's kind of holding me there. So I don't either drop too quickly, like before my legs are ready, especially when I'm learning the technique, that's a problem. I also don't want a case where as I'm going, he acts like an idiot and tries to like sprawl out and give me resistance. This is a technique that requires rounded body from uke, which happens naturally when the person feels the technique happening, okay? The proper response defensively may be a sprawl, but most of the time you're going to get a resistance response back that allows that gap to open so you can swing in underneath your partner. And then when you're going over, if you're the top person, once again, you're focusing on doing essentially a forward roll. You're tucking your body so you roll naturally instead of either landing on your head, landing on your face, trying to resist, or any other kind of foolishness. These techniques can be practiced safely. They can be done well. The best policy, as always, with every technique, especially those that run a risk of a little bit more danger, is to work directly with somebody one-on-one with a proper measure of resistance so that you can get used to how to do the technique properly before you start to go hit it in live training or indoor. Okay, one of the things that, that's like a pet peeve of a lot of teachers and instructors is when students haven't practiced something and then they go and they try to do it inside of the classroom, because it puts their partner at risk. It can be, it tends to be kind of sloppy. And the live training is a place for you to work things out, but not in a case like this. Okay, you don't want to hit this having never practiced it or having done it a couple of times and feel like you're good to go. All right, you want to spend a little bit of time getting used to these Sutemi Waza throws, tiny Sumi Gaeshi, Tomoe-nage, yoko variations, all of that stuff, so that you can be good to go, ready to go, and have a safe and effective technique that's there at your disposal. Okay, hopefully this was helpful. You enjoyed it.